Hiya, I'm ThatJaymsWisdom and this is another episode of Collected Comics Comments, and I'm going to go through again today some more of the sneak peeks from the new DCYou. Like in the last video I did, I'm going to go through about 10 of the new DCYou previews. Video should be under 10 minutes. Just going to give you a quick overview of each comic and what kind of thing you can expect. So kicking off, we've got Bizarro, which is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of cartoony style comic. Obviously, if you know Bizarro, it's all reverse anti things, and it looks like from the preview we've got Bizarro being taken to Canada, the anti-America, with Jimmy Olsen, and it's going to be fun times ensue. Seems silly. I don't know that it's got a lot of longevity, this, because I can't see how long you can go on having silly Bizarro stories where he does things wrong and does it all backwards. But it looks fun. I'll certainly pick up the first few issues of this. I imagine it might be one of those series that goes for 6 to 12 issues and then is probably canned. Next we've got Dr. Fate, which has been a little bit divisive within the community as far as I can tell. It doesn't really show Dr. Fate as Dr. Fate in this preview, just the new character that's going to be becoming Dr. Fate, and it's all about introducing us to that new character, what he's like. The idea is he's overly hard-working, doesn't have time for anything, he's training to be a doctor, actually a doctor, so he's quite young, he's kind of university level education, and it appears there's a flood coming, it's going to wipe out humanity or whatever it is, and he's going to become Dr. Fate. Looks like he's going to have a cat mascot as well, which is always nice, but we'll see how that goes. Very Egyptian style mythos. Could be interesting. It doesn't really tell us a lot about Dr. Fate and the stories of Dr. Fate, more just about the character that's going to become him. Next there's Lobo. This series is the new Lobo. It's not the larger biker style Lobo. It's the kind of slightly younger age, much more trim, muscular Lobo, the bounty hunter. The preview's okay. I mean, it doesn't really do anything special for me. It feels very much like what I would imagine a Deathstroke comic to feel like. It's just kind of Deathstroke in space, as far as I can tell. The preview has him sleeping with this woman because he's doing an assassination that he's been paid to do, as Lobo does, and he's using her as a patsy, but he's also getting his thrills as well. So that kind of thing doesn't strike me as a particularly exciting comic. I do prefer the old Lobo, not this new kind of trimmed down Lobo. As I say, it feels a bit just like a Deathstroke in space, which is a bit of a shame considering there's a Deathstroke comic as well. Next we've got Green Lantern: The Lost Army, which is just like Green Lantern in that it follows on from the stuff that's been going on in the Green Lantern universe. This follows Green Lantern John Stewart and another bunch of Green Lanterns, fairly recognisable Green Lanterns for the most part. I don't know one of them, maybe two of them, I'm not sure, but Kilowog, those kinds of characters are all in there, and it appears to be them somewhere they're not supposed to be. They don't know where they are, they can't contact the Green Lantern battery, their power source, and they're trapped on this planet being attacked, and it's them dealing with the aftermath of the Green Lantern stuff that's been going on in the comics. Again, if you're a Green Lantern fan, you're just going to read this. If you're not, it might be a good place to pick up. I like John Stewart as a Green Lantern. He's quite a good Green Lantern, so you may want to consider that. Read the preview if you like it, and then see where you go from there. But it is very much following on from the Green Lantern stuff. There's no kind of soft reboot here where we've got a new story, really, as far as I can tell. Still heavily embedded in the mythos. Next we've got another new starter and another silly one, a bit like Bizarro. That's Bat-Mite. Bat-Mite looks like it could be a lot of fun. The introduction is of Bat-Mite helping Batman fight some crime, and Batman telling him off he's being rubbish and that he doesn't need his help or whatever. It's a bit silly, seems like a bit of fun. This one might have a little bit more longevity because it looks like from the preview that Bat-Mite is going to be going around and assisting other DC heroes. So this is, I imagine, going to be the kind of thing we see with Deadpool team up comics for over at Marvel, where each issue is a different superhero from the DC universe being toyed with by Bat-Mite, and Bat-Mite trying to make them better, and I'm sure it will just be silly fun with that kind of stuff. Looks quite good, probably going to pick up the first couple of issues, we'll see how it goes. We've also got another continuing series here, which is Action Comics. Action Comics, of course, is always running. They never seem to stop this one, which is fair enough. This is a Superman comic, and it's focusing on the new status quo for Superman, where he's had his identity revealed, but he's also been depowered in some way. So the sneak peek is him travelling to the Fortress of Solitude on a motorcycle and walking, where his senses are dulled in terms of his super sense, his super speed. He didn't react fast enough in one of the panels, and he's not as strong as he was. He can't fly, so he's depowered, not completely without powers, but he's much more a kind of human relatable level than the godlike levels of power that Superman is used to having. So he has a fight and he bleeds. He's feeling the cold. He's bitterly cold throughout this. He's talking about the cold and how he's feeling that. It seems like it could be a good jumping on point for those of you who want to pick Superman back up again. This is Action Comics, should be good. We'll see. I'm kind of curious as where this goes. I'm probably not going to pick it up myself, but those of you who are interested in Superman probably will do. Those of you who haven't been following Superman recently may want to pick this up just to kind of see what's going on. We've also got Justice League 3000, or Justice League 3001 as it's called now, which follows on from Justice League 3000 or Justice League of the Future, whatever it was called, and follows Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and all those characters in the future in the year 3000. And it's kind of interesting, but I don't know that it's particularly good. I wasn't a big fan, but it might be quite like the other stuff, but I haven't read that, so I don't know. It's got Guy Gardner in there as a woman, which is really odd. So it's not Guy Gardner, a female version of Guy Gardner. It is Guy Gardner has been transformed from a male into a female. And they make a point of noting that he used to be a man, but now he's a lady, which I thought was a bit strange, but, you know, whatever, it might be good. I didn't particularly like it. It's all very futuristic, spacey type stuff. I wasn't a big fan of, didn't massively like the art style. I thought the writing was a bit ropey, but it might be good. If you're interested in the other stuff, you might want to read this. It's all about them having forgotten who they are, it seems. They all act very differently to the characters I would expect them to act as. We've got Aquaman, which is a continuing series from before. And I've been reading that series. I really liked that series. The last arc was really ropey. I wasn't a big fan of that. But I've been following Aquaman since the beginning of the New 52 again. And I was really enjoying it. This doesn't seem anything like what's come before, really. It seems that Aquaman is now on the run from Atlantis. They want him dead. He's a traitor to Atlantis, to the crown or whatever. And Mera is Queen of Atlantis now. That's Aquaman's wife, for those who don't know who that is. And he's on the run from them. And it's new costume, dark, weird kind of theme. And it read really badly. Read really, really badly, and didn't like it. The artwork's awful. I don't know what's going on with the costume. The costume's sort of this black kind of tunic style thing, like armour. Massive belt that's sort of, you know, the entire of his stomach. And I hate the costume. I really don't like the costume. The writing, the art isn't very good. This is one I was really looking forward to continuing reading. I've enjoyed Aquaman. Aquaman's one of my favourites, but I won't be following this one on anymore. So next we've got Gotham by Midnight, which is a very supernatural style thing. It's all about supernatural stuff going on in Gotham, and follows the midnight shift of the Gotham Police Department, led by Jim Corrigan, who you may know as becoming the Spectre. It very much in keeping with the Justice League dark tone, but just set in Gotham, and it's much more of a grounded police type thing by the looks of it. And it's Jim Gordon, Batman, going to find Corrigan and getting him to get the midnight shift involved in helping to save Gotham from some supernatural threats that are going on, because Batman can't deal with them. They're not his cup of tea, that kind of thing. Looks kind of good, decent artwork, very supernatural-esque storytelling, works well, might be interesting if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Lastly for this video, we've got Deathstroke, which reads very much like Lobo actually. It's similar kind of thing, same kind of writing style, same kind of story. It's, again, like Lobo, Deathstroke dealing with being a younger version of himself. Because he's been de-aged, he's not the grey-haired old man with one eye anymore. He's now younger, fitter, got both his eyes, and it's thrown him off. He's trying to get used to his body being young and fit again, and dealing with his extra senses, those kinds of things. And it's all him training in a simulator against the Teen Titans to start with, until he's actually attacked. And when he's attacked, he's actually given a sword by Hephaestus, the Greek god, who creates the weapons of the gods, and he gives Deathstroke a sword and asks him to kill a god. So we've got a kind of mythology style thing coming into Deathstroke here, where he's going to be able to slay a god. He's going to become a god slayer, I think is the idea here, and it puts him out of his comfort zone. It's a continuing series. The Deathstroke series that ran in the New 52 ran for a while and then got cancelled. So now it's back again. Deathstroke's a popular character, so I imagine it will do reasonably well. So that's it for that rundown of comics there. As I said in the previous video, you can get all of these comics for free, sneak peeks, on the DC website, which is dccomics.com/DCYou. I'll write that down there because it's not DCYou the letter, but you as in you yourself. That's it. I'll pop up another video as soon as I can for the following week's releases. Keep smiling and thank you very kindly.